I think in this world, to be a creative, you have to be more stronger than any other time. You have to be more resilient. You have to be more visionary. You have to be more stubborn. You have to be really believe in what you do because there's so many voices everywhere. Whatever you do, I mean, sticking to my sector in filmmaking, you know, you say you're going to do this, you're going to do that. It's like, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You say you're going to make films in camcorders. Why are you making a camcorder? Camcorder's fucking grainy. Why don't you use this camera? If you say you're going to shoot in a fucking certain camera, why do that? The fucking, if you're going to make an AI movie, oh, you fucking slop, you know, it's fucking soulless. Whatever. If you, you know, you just got all these voices coming everywhere. Just all this fucking noise, which is against any rock and roll spirit at all. You know, if you were back in the 70s and the time of the Sex Pistols and whatever, oh, you're going to start a band, you can't fucking play. You know, they didn't care that they couldn't fucking play. It was a vibe. Johnny Rotten couldn't fucking sing. You know, and Steve Jones could hardly play the guitar and he got better later. It was the vibe, it was the attitude, it was the, you know, then when the synth music came in, oh, that's terrible. You're going to do away with a fucking drummer. You're going to do away with a fucking bass player. You're just putting it in your little box here and somebody's playing, somebody's singing. You can't even fucking sing. And then the Pet Shop Boys had like fucking, you know, 20 hits, you know, without a fucking band and they're the synth, you know, and they've done people out of work. You know, it's so, it's such a weird world, you know. You have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. You know, for every artist and every creative, Bowie used to, that he got influenced by William Burroughs. We used to, you know, write his lyrics based on newspaper headlines that he would cut out and create a song from that. Oh, you can't do it. That's not the way. How can you create a song that sounds like that? Feels like soulless. Creating a song out from newspaper headlines. You know, you have to have a spirit that you don't give two fucks. You will paint back to the Picasso thing. If he took his brushes away, he'll scratch with his fucking nails to do a painting. It's not about the tools. It's about having a fucking vision for something, having a story and having a vision. I don't even think it's should be called filmmaking anymore. If you want to do AI, it's not called filmmaking. It should just be called visual storytelling. You know, it's not been filmmaking for many years. It's been video making. There's a part of me loves shooting a fucking phone. I shot the last movie in a fucking phone, or shooting a camcorder. Taking AI as an issue, that's not going to be the big game changer. The big game changer, if you just look at these two movies that have done well with these filmmakers that Hollywood's taken, because they had a fan base. You got to build a media machine besides your films, whatever you do, whether you shoot in a camcorder, whether you do AI, whether you do filmmaking in general, the conventional way, and AI, or both, or you shoot in a fucking CCTV camera making a movie, doesn't matter. It's just all the opinions about how you should do it. If you listen to that, you're not really worth a fuck. You're not really worth a fuck as a creative artist, whatever you want to call yourself. You're not worth a fuck. Because the real people do exactly what they want to do. You don't listen to all the shite, because you'll be all over the place. The only one thing that's important is tell a story. Tell a good story, however you tell it. That's it. You cannot get away from that. You cannot make a good fucking film without a decent script and a good story. You know, that's what's important. However you do it, you know.